Girls. It is me, Dukect, on this recorded on Audacity edition of the Dukect Lounge. I was going to lie, but TalkShoe was acting funky. And, well, you know, you gotta make do what you got. Anyway, it is 10:06 in the PM on this recording Thursday night. So, anyway, let's get on with the show. How y'all doing in this great week of professional wrestling? Some would say great. Some I personally say it is not going so well for some people. Well, personally, you know, there are some people like myself who are just looking at the wrestling world just like sighing. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Battleground just happened, and it was an okay show for the most part, but some would say, but honestly, I felt it was really underwhelming. The show was really underwhelming. There was not really, there were some good matches here and there. Personally, the whole crap ton special big move the big move fest that was the Cena Owens match, I have to say, there were some good spots, but you know what? It just felt like I've seen all this before. And also, it felt like that none of the moves, how big they were, looked cool, but it didn't really, it didn't have any type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, impact, because they just kicked out. I see the DDTs, they're just landing them right on the head. Kick out of two. Kick out of two of the AA. Kick out of two. Papa Power, kick out of two. Kick out of two. I have a second rope, an AA from the second rope that kicks out of two. At this point, I just didn't really care for the match. It became a hindrance instead of actually a real, something really positive. I felt like the match was so overgrown with super moves that in the end it didn't tell a story, didn't tell how desperate Owens was getting the United States title, going every underhanded trick he can do physically, and most trying to get Cena to do some things that make a mistake or what have you. And then the ending, it just came out of nowhere. It just felt like that was it. Owens loses, and that's it. Nothing really changed. No outside interference. I would expect Rusev would have actually came out and tried to beat down Kevin for what he did, costing the United States Championship at Monday Night Raw the past week. But no, in fact, you had them being tag partners in a 6-man in the main event, which makes no sense. Okay, you have Owens leave Rusev to get slaughtered. That sort of makes sense. You had, the whole team imploding. Sheamus leaving. It was Sheamus, Owens, and Rusev taking on Randy Orton, Cesaro, and John Cena. And by the way, it basically was the finish of that match. Have Rusev take on all three, basically hitting every single. It was like, honestly, one of those Marvel combo finishes from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's like, I felt like it was the last part after Randy Orton hit that nice. I gotta say, it was a pretty cool, leaf frog? No. Let's see, what was that arcade? It was, it's just basically a leapfrog or whatever. That nice RKO team up thing that Cesaro and Orton did. I felt like honestly that Marvel announcer said hyper combo finish should have been like hyper combo finish, and just have Rusev just down like boom. That was it. That should have been. That was really that was fun, but honestly, it felt like, again, the show is, there's no real plot. There's no consequences to actions again. And if there was some type of promo before the 6-man trying to say to even things out, then okay, put it to me in the comments, because, it looks like what I've seen, they didn't have anything. So, whatever. By the way, it makes Rusev seem even more stupid if all the badly booking of what Rusev gone through after Cena beat him at WrestleMania and everything else, the feud with Cena. I mean, now they basically booked him as just an incompetent Russian who basically, he fights up, but yet he teams up with the guy who cost him the United States Championship, and is surprised that he leaves him. Yeah, makes no sense. But also, what about the big story? I talked about I was going to preview this and everything. I was talk about this and a big preview, and I'm going to talk about this right now. The Undertaker coming back. And honestly, I wish The Undertaker would have stayed away after WrestleMania 30. I thought the streak ending means his retirement. I think that would have been a way to go out. But then he came back for Wyatt, which I thought Wyatt was going to finally end him, which would have been great for his character, something he desperately needed. But that didn't happen. Wyatt lost to The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Then you have The Undertaker showing up at Battleground, costing, basically after Rollins was in Suplex City and having him basically was about to get the title back 1, 2, 3, and then actually, the lights went out, a gong hit, and there was the Rollins and the referee was gone, and Brock Lesnar got tombstoned, chokeslammed, kicked in the private area, got chokeslammed and got tombstoned not once but twice by The Undertaker, the returning dead man who struggled to get Lesnar up on top of him, who struggled here to get Lesnar up, which is, it should have been like, it's time for The Undertaker to move on, if you know what I mean. But now they had admittedly a very cool sequence the night after Battleground as Lesnar and Lesnar and Undertaker had a huge fight brawl that everybody in the locker room tried to break up and everything. A cool segment, but honestly, it's a match that we already seen multiple times, and B, the last time they did fight, it was probably one of the worst matches The Undertaker or Brock Lesnar ever had. And I'm counting the fact that match with Big Show wasn't really a match. It was basically Lesnar just hitting with Big Show and nothing but chair shots. Yeah. Seriously. Lesnar's... It's a waste of talent. I mean, I thought they were going to do after the whole... Because I thought with him and CM Punk was going to be good. Lesnar and CM Punk was great. I really liked that. Lesnar and Cena was interesting. It's just, the whole Lesnar just conquering everything was nice. It was a nice little thing. Then you had Lesnar, Rollins, and Cena at the Rumble, which was a great match. A match that I thought would have been, I didn't think it was going to be that good, but by God, it was probably one of the best matches of the year. You had Lesnar versus Reigns, which was a really good match, a really good main event. And honestly, I thought Lesnar and Rollins would have been a very good, Lesnar and Rollins would have been a match, but no, it was the Suplex City variant of the whole Lesnar, Lesnar versus Rollins, which seems to make sense. Lesnar is the unstoppable monster. I mean, you can't really have a highly athletic match or something like that. I mean, I know Sting had one with Vader back in the days of WCW, and that match was actually pretty good. Still pretty good. But, they can't do that today because, they can't hurt the mystique of Lesnar, which sadly they're going to do when, supposedly, according to Dave Meltzer, I think I'll put the link in the description where I've heard that rumor, that it's going to be The Undertaker beating Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And then they're going to continue this feud all the way up to WrestleMania for The Undertaker's last match. Whoop-de-freaking-do. That's just perfect. I mean, it's... The Undertaker's last match should have been at WrestleMania 30. I mean, the streak is over. There's nothing more for him to do. And honestly, that match showed that he is, was very, what's the word, past it? I'm not sure he did better with Wyatt, but I do not expect anything better with Lesnar. Maybe if it's a gimmick match. Maybe. If it's a straight up one-on-one match, it's going to probably be bad, if not worse, than a WrestleMania encounter. But maybe I'm being too negative. I mean, let's keep hoping that this company maybe this will turn around. Maybe they can finagle this and make this, after this, maybe this will have Lesnar finally destroy The Undertaker once and for all at SummerSlam. Then move on to a match that I think that should have happened many, many moons ago. Lesnar versus Orton. Seriously, that's the story that tells itself. You have Lesnar, young blue chipper, winning the world championship at a young age. And you have Orton, the same thing. In fact, beats you know who, and became a champion at a younger age. You have that going for it. That story right, and saying how different their careers are. How the blue chipper Randy Orton, and fair to say, in his WWE career, where you have Brock Lesnar. He left the WWE, becoming the new UFC champion. The legitimatizer of sports entertainment or what have you. You have this huge clash of styles. And heck, you could easily probably have like NF5 going to an RKO, which would be awesome. Come on, that would be pretty cool. And I think this match will probably be probably one of the best matches. I think Lesnar's return. Seriously, it could be right up there with probably even. I think it would probably be better than Reigns and Lesnar. I guarantee you that. Not saying Reigns and Lesnar was bad. I think it was actually pretty good for what it was. But I think Orton and Lesnar could probably be the best match Lesnar could have. Also, you have Cesaro. You can have Cesaro take on Lesnar. You can have Rusev. You can have Rusev. You can have there's Rusev or heck Owens. Let's see how Owens can do it. Fight Owens. That would be a monstrous fight. Let's see with our Finn Balor or Hideo Itami when he comes back. There's a mountain of great wrestlers. Sheamus. I think him and Sheamus could do a really good fun brawl. There are so many great matches with Brock Lesnar they can have. But instead they just continue feeding him these old guys and these guys that are past it. Meanwhile, wasting their time with Lesnar. I know he's signed a new deal, but come on. I don't want to see him take on The Undertaker. I want to see him take on new and interesting wrestlers. Okay, new wrestlers compared to Orton, but still. But I'm just playing. But, Orton's actually become more fun. Maybe it's the elbow pads. Maybe that's it. But overall, I really, really, really want to see Lesnar take on some new opponents and better opponents as well. But that's just my personal opinion. Anyway, I'm going to take a small little break here, and we'll be right back. I will listen to a couple of songs, if you will. And the song you're going to be hearing will be, I think, I'll play a little bit of the Megas. How's that for you? Y'all think I'll be pretty cool with that? Yes. Harder Than Steel from Mega Man 3. From OC Remix. It's from the Megas. Hope you enjoy it. Here, live. Well, not really live. Here on the Dukect Lounge on TalkShoe.com and other places. We'll be right back right after this. We are back here in this recorded edition of the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me here on TalkShoe.com. Also, you can hear me on Manic Expression, over Manic Expression, also on Freaking Awesome Network, also on YouTube, Zipcast, CheshireCast forums, the Escapist forums, ShortTat.com, and anywhere that I can share this to the masses. Also on iTunes as well. So, anyway, let's talk some TNA, shall we? Let's see. There's interesting, a little bit of a podcast, Pod Nasty. They actually had an interview with TNA, and here's over at the SEScoops.com, you can listen to the podcast there, is that supposedly he says, well, he did not have fun at TNA. He says, on not having fun towards the end of his TNA run and working with Jeff Jarrett, GW says, no, absolutely not. I wasn't having fun in TNA. Some of that's do with them, and some of that's do it for me. Nobody owes you a good time or anything, but due to a number of things, I wasn't having fun there anymore. And, well, everything else, he says he's, he likes working with Jeff Jarrett. Maybe that's business speak or what have you, but I don't know. Maybe he really is happy working at GFW. Also, on dropping the NWA, dang it. The TNA World title, I'm thinking back in 2006 and 7, when this company had a smidgen of credibility. He says, quote, about him dropping the TNA World title, he says, I thought it was premature and immature. To me, I don't think the decision was just based completely on business. What's done is done. You know, they made their bed and they're lying in it. When it comes to that, what's done is done. What's done is done. You know, they made their bed, they're lying in it. And when it comes with what they're left with, what they left with now, you get what you pay for. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think personally his whole world title run was a complete and utter failure. And honestly, personally, his whole world title run could have been performed a lot better. I think, well, I think he should have dropped it with Samoa Joe. I mean, it was the first British-born heavyweight champion in over 100 years, and this is how he's treated? Jeez, it was just a terrible run overall as champ. In my personal opinion. I know it mirrors a lot of people's opinion. I'm not saying that Magnus is a terrible wrestler. I think he's a very good wrestler. But you know what? I think his world title run was a complete sham. Anyway, the Mickie James situation on train tracks, which I just watched the video again. I just like, really, TNA? On the train tracks. He said, quote, the only person who liked it was the person who wrote it. He had final say on it. And everybody says, well, in this quote, he said, we all suggest alternatives. We all thought it was not going to work and it was not going to get a reaction. And our disregard for it and that was the result of it. That was one of the reasons where we just kind of said, okay, it's maybe time to wrap this thing up. Yeah, that whole Mickie, well, here's the thing. You had, James Storm leading Mickie James to train tracks, dropping her or something, and then leaving her there. I'm like, that is, wow. I mean, just wow. You know, it could have done something better with Magnus. I think Magnus could have been so much better. Nick Atlas could have been performed so much better. I wish he was there and everything else. I wish they could do so much better. Anyway, but you know, there's a lot more stuff out TNA. They actually, I just found this out, is that TNA is actually going to do a Bound for Glory. Yes, I'm not kidding you. They're actually, I mean, this is just amazing. It is going to be, according to WrestleZone.com, put the link in the description, is going to be TNA Bound for Glory is going to take place live Sunday, October 4th in the Cabarrus Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, on paper, I'm like, really? Are you serious? I gotta see how big this thing is, the Cabarrus Arena. I gotta look this up. I don't think they can fill it. I mean, alright, let's look. I don't think I'm be business that long, but honestly, how many, let's see. Supposedly they can fit, the capacity of it is 5,000. I don't think they can get, if TNA somehow makes it to Bound for Glory by some miracle, after they're canceled by Destination America, which is all but assured at this point, they're not going to be able to fill, they're not going to fill 5,000. They're not going to fill 500. Heck, at that point, I think, I wouldn't decide if I see like 5 or 6 people there. Maybe 50. At that point, they got to make that thing look dark. Same reason how they made the whole, when Destination America started shooting and stuff up in New York. Like, the entire audience is not even filled to capacity type dark. You know, it's gonna be that just empty. I don't think they're gonna fill, maybe they're wrong, maybe they'll get at least something like maybe 100, maybe 200 people. 200 people, maybe. That's the max I expect from this company at this point. 200. 200 people. I mean, even then I'm stretching it. I don't even know what is going on with this company. I don't know. Dixie Carter, you are completely delusional. I mean, they're not going to last until they're not going to last till October 4th. This is just, oh goodness. Oh my gosh. It's going to be I mean, this could be, I'm after my Ratchet and Clank review, which hopefully will be up next Monday, earliest hopefully by Sunday. I hope it's up. Then I could work on the, Slammiversary review. And after the Slammiversary review, this could be the TNA getting the light. If this review actually happens, boys and girls, if this pay-per-view actually happens, Slammiversary, I will consider this. Slammiversary is pulling the cord, like pulling the, cutting the cord from TNA from their finally, they're basically gone. They're just like, you gotta pull the plug. Pulling the plug. Bound for Glory will be the funeral of TNA. And I wish I was a bigger video producer, because I would actually have like multiple people doing if I could rent a building, because funny thing is TNA can do funeral segments as well. I would have a funeral segment of just like the company and have like multiple like video producers or what have you just leave their TNA paraphernalia and everything else there. That would just be amazing. Yeah, I'm just hilarious. That'd be awesome. I mean, but oh well. Here's, oh goodness. I can't. This company. This is just, it's amazing how much fail there is in this company. It's so much failure in TNA. By the way, before I go to the Dukect Lounge, I got another thing. I got a bone to pick with Ring of Honor. Now, Ring of Honor, just had its 200th episode. 200 episodes of Ring of Honor television. Probably one of the best hours of pro wrestling to date. And I like it, I watch it, and what did I get for the 200th episode? Something that really, they need to do something big for it. So instead of doing something big, you know what they did? They had a clip show. And after they said clip show, where they actually had to fast forward to all the, they couldn't show all the matches they showed on the clip show because those matches were ran on too long. And they had to do them like 5 minutes or 2 minutes away from the finish. Then after that, you had an 8-man tag. how is this going to build up to Death Before Dishonor? Yeah, I ended up pay-per-view. Seriously. I mean, they did a piss poor job building up that pay-per-view. A real piss poor job. They only did the main event. That's it. Everything else has just been forgotten about. There's nothing there. Okay, maybe they have Vita Scott come in and talk about like Moose. You know, she made a lot. She made like a little bit of promo about the match with Cedric Alexander and Moose, but that's it. They had no real reason and a hard sell for the pay-per-view. There's no reason for me to buy it. There's no reason for me at all. If they're going to act like this for the 200 pay-per-view, I'm not going to go and pay. I'm not going to give them my money. I'm not going to. You shouldn't either. If they're going to act like this and have a piss poor go home show and one of your big shows, which has Jay Lethal and Roderick Strong, who by the way was managed by Truth Martini, and they barely even covered that. I mean, they didn't even scratch the surface with that storyline, because that is a big storyline right there. That could go on for weeks. You can build up some stuff. You can have all the stuff. I know it's an hour, it's a TV show, but come on. Come on, people. You can build that up, have promos, have things on the website, something. Instead, you just have stuff. They didn't have any promos about this. They got promos probably now, but there's no promo about it during the shows. Nothing built up to it. It's just an 8-man tag. That's just sad to me. That's really frustrating to me because I want Ring of Honor to succeed. And with WWE's putting that NXT, that targeting NXT on to ROH, they better start shipping up. They better about to shape up or they're going to get shipped out. And that's what they need to do. They need to start shipping up. They need to start shaping up. They got to shape up or they're going to ship out because NXT, we got Justin Thunder Liger. He's going to be in NXT Brooklyn. That live show, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. And you have Owens versus Finn Balor. All this other craziness. All that crazy stuff that I love in wrestling. Everything else. It looks like it'll be a fun show. Ring of Honor hasn't proved. I mean, they did a pretty good job building up Best in the World, but it just felt like just a filler show. We have a main event this big. This Roderick Strong versus Jay Lethal. Roderick Strong, former mentor of wrestling. They have Truth Martini take and Jay Lethal. Truth Martini has his former client taking on his current client. They didn't really do much with it. Shameful. And all the other stuff as well. They just throw together a 4-man random tag. And honestly, that makes no sense because they didn't really prove themselves. I mean, War Machine and the Kingdom, which by the way, the Kingdom lost their match at the pay-per-view, so they're rewarded with a tag team title shot. I don't understand that. I mean, I just don't. And, that it doesn't make any sense to me. They didn't, and in the show they didn't really do anything about that. I mean, they should have really done some, they really should do anything about. They should have, they should have really start, booking these types. They should have actually, really started to not just care, but this whole thing, it should be better. This should be better. I mean, Ring of Honor is held to a higher standard. And you have, again, you have, in fact, they have other shows and such like that. It just seems like, the show's like, this is going to be it's just a filler show. That's what it seems like. It seems like Death Before Dishonor is more of a filler show instead of actually a real, show. It should be something more. It should be important. Instead, it's just a filler show. That means, it just feels like the Ring of Honor has made it into a filler show that will honestly mean it just doesn't mean anything. It does not mean anything when you are just didn't really do anything with it. In fact, you have a first time ever Briscoes versus RPG Vice, and they barely talked about that. They don't talk about these things. Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle. That could be really good. They don't talk about it. Will Ferrer versus the last real man, Silas Young. They had a pretty good match on Ring of Honor television. They barely even talk about that. I know it's an hour show, but can you at least do that stuff on your website at least? On your YouTube channel? A little bit? I mean, come on, guys. You could do better. Anyway, that's the show for this evening. Thank you so much for listening here on TalkShoe.com. Recording. Next week, I will not be there. I'll be on, I'll be on vacation next week. But the week after, I will be back live Thursday talking the what's happened afterwards, with the aftershock of Death for Dishonor. I'll get to that. And other things and such with the world of wrestling. And I'll maybe get a video game story there because I haven't been talking video games. I haven't been talking about video games in a while. Maybe I'll fit in a video game story. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. This is Dukect here. Peace, love. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Later.